Question of the morning. ESPN founder Bill Rasmussen passes away at the age of 93. What is his legacy? What a visionary, man. And if you are of Alex's generation, the captain, I don't think you understand it. Honestly, even if you're 40, things were changing pretty quickly because Bill Rasmussen founded ESPN 47 years ago. And he understood one thing, and I will never forget this. My parents always stayed up and watched Johnny Carson. That was the biggest thing. Johnny Carson. Oh, he was hilarious. So, you're a little kid. You want to be able to stay up late, and you can't do it. I mean, you're 8 years old, and you just crash. Then I stay up and watch Johnny Carson. I started seeing all these showbiz guests and all that. And I asked my dad one day, how come he doesn't have athletes on? My dad looks at me and goes, because they're not that big a deal. Now, is that not a hilarious thing in 2026? Yeah, they are. They sell $1 billion worth of shoes. They can sell $1 billion worth of movies. They can sell $1 billion worth of soda. They can sell $1 billion worth of fill in the product. Trucks, beer, chips. I don't know. What else have you seen athletes sell? They are a huge deal. Some of them can't go outdoors. Like Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan, you think they can just walk around? The Lakers came to town. Somebody said, Shaq's in the mall. DJ, go find Shaq. I had to go out with a photographer and find Shaq and get video of the dude. Dude was standing in a store buying something. It's the old mall. It was Crossroads. It's torn down now and been rebuilt. And Stockton found out about it and then yelled at Rod Zundel to yell at me. He never yelled at me, though. He just yelled at Rod to yell at me. You tell David James I saw that. That was BS. It was back when athletes watched the news. There was a time people didn't realize athletes were a big deal. There was a time people didn't realize that we would watch sports every day of the week. There was a time people didn't realize we would watch sports in prime time. The only thing there in prime time, Olympics, World Series, and Monday Night Football. That was it. Bill Rasmussen came along and said, I'm going to start a business, and I bet people will watch sports at night. I bet people will watch the NCAA Tournament Sweet 16. That wasn't on TV when I was in junior high and high school. I didn't get on TV until I was in college. And I was back home from college. I was at high school buddies. And I went over there, and it was like, I don't know, 6:30 at night or something. I ate dinner with my parents. I went over to see Phil. And we lived out in the sticks. Cable had not arrived yet. Walked in, and he had ESPN on, and the NCAA tournament was on. And Louisville was playing Kentucky. And I was amazed. You know what we did? We sat down and watched the game. We talked during commercial breaks. We were locked in. This is awesome. They're televising the NCAA Sweet 16 now. Yeah, I know. There are so many things that are on TV now. Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. I do think that TBS was there in the early days. They were kind of looking at ESPN going, hey, I'll bet they'd watch the NFL with a Sunday night game. It was now, NBA doubleheader. I got a job, my first job in radio. I was a sophomore in college. Part-time job, and it was at KDB Radio in Santa Barbara, and they had they're part of the Laker radio network, so they would carry Laker games. So they needed to hire someone to run the board on Sunday and Monday because stuff wasn't automated yet, and I had to run the board on Sunday and Monday, and the Lakers played almost every Sunday night on ESPN. And so I would listen to Chick Hearn call the game, and I would play the local spots. There were regional spots and local spots. I would play the local spots, follow the log, and play the spots, and do station IDs. And other than that, I'd watch the game. And the radio was like 2 seconds in front of the TV. So Cooper would be lining up a jump shot. Magic over to Coop. Shot. And I'd hear Chick, shot is good. and then Cooper would just be launching the shot. A little disorienting there. This whole notion, we get to watch so much sports. You specifically, you've been watching so much sports your whole life. You owe Bill Rasmussen. I didn't get it. PK didn't get it. That's why he was so addicted to WOR. The Mets are on. The Mets are on. I got to get home. WGN was such a big deal. They were just at the forefront of, people watch sports every hour of every day. No, you can't do sports on weekdays. I mean, everybody's at work. No, everybody isn't. You can do it. It's totally changed the landscape. College football, and here it's known because there's a lot of BYU fans, and actually I think Utah and Utah State fans know too. The first year that the Supreme Court there was a Supreme Court decision, Oklahoma and Georgia sued the NCAA. The NCAA is like, we can only have 1 or 2 games on TV every week because otherwise people won't go to the games. I'll take stupid for 500, Alex. Yeah, they will. They want to see their team. It's fun to go to games and sit next to each other. The energy the crowd gets from the crowd is awesome. You don't get that on your sofa. It's less expensive. It's more convenient. The fridge is closer. Concessions are way less. But you lose out on that energy. It's fun to be in there when the crowd explodes, when somebody breaks off a big run or makes an interception or catches a touchdown pass. Love the roar of the crowd. It's awesome. But guess what? It'd be okay if you televise games. And the Supreme Court told Oklahoma and Georgia, yeah, it turns out you own the games, not the NCAA. Go ahead, televise them. So ESPN starts putting them on, and the first live thing they do is BYU and Pitt. And Robbie Bosco, and Pitt's ranked number 3 and gets beat and ends up being a 500 team, and BYU goes undefeated in 84. Cutting-edge stuff. You take football in prime time for granted. There's Monday Night Football, and no one figured it out. You know, Monday Night Football works. Maybe Sunday Night Football would work. Maybe we should be showing college games Saturday night in prime time. No, I'm sorry, we can't do that. Bridge too far, people. Calm down. Bill Rasmussen figured it all out, put ESPN on the air, and you can hate ESPN or love ESPN. Some people love Stephen A. Smith, or he wouldn't make the tens of millions of dollars he makes. And obviously some people loathe him and rip him all the time. And the same for Pat McAfee. You can love him. And I guess he's negotiating a $60 million deal now. Or you can hate him. What's he doing wearing a T-shirt on TV? Bro TV. Yeah, well, people will watch sports. Honestly, this job, sports talk radio didn't exist until about 10 years after ESPN. Radio executives are like, I don't know, maybe we don't need a 45th classic rock station. Maybe we don't need a 12th news talk station. Maybe we've talked enough about traffic and politics. Let's try sports. That was a late 80s, early 90s thing as that took off. Salt Lake, it was early to mid-90s when it took off. Because when I got here in 92, there was no sports talk radio. So thanks to Bill Rasmussen for figuring out people really like sports, and maybe we should have more of it on radio and TV. Worked for me. Didn't get here in time for my childhood. I can be bitter about that. Sure worked for my career, though. Thanks, Bill. You're lucky. You don't know. All the things we get. It's unreal.
I do enjoy how easily available everything is and how everything is televised. I can go home and watch Toledo football if I wanted to.
If you want to, right? And then, I think we're going to launch ESPN2. By the time ESPN2 was launched, he was out of the company. He did the early years, and I think they got a quote from Chris Berman because he's, one of the guys who remembers the early years and was there, one of the original employees. But, man, Bill launched it without his vision. Just in little old Bristol, Connecticut. Why is ESPN in Bristol, Connecticut? Because Bill was, and land was cheap. All right, DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, you were chasing interviews yesterday. You're doing it again today. Bill Bender, the Sporting News, president of the Football Writers Association of America. All right, we're talking football with Bill Bender at the top of the hour. John Talty from CBS Sports talking football at 8:30. Ron McBride in studio at 9 o'clock. Got a ton of football on the way. Stay with us.